How about that? Did y'all like that?
Yeah.
Was that pretty awesome?
That was cool.
Yeah.
Hey folks, Lester here, and look who I'm being joined by. Look who's joining me. That kind of hurts. I got my son, Ellie, and I got Jake over
Good
here.
to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah. It's nice to see you too, Ellie.
I didn't do anything.
I'm playing. So we are blessed to be coming to you live with a lunch with Longhorn Lester, and none of us are having lunch. We've all skipped lunch because we're working. But I wanted to take a moment and play that little video that I built earlier today for you all. We still have Florida in our thoughts and prayers. And of course, we know that that storm now is kind of angled off towards the Carolinas. So we hope that you guys are hunkering down and that you will be able to come through this thing with no issues. It's good to have the guys here with me. And I want to say also that I'm really blessed to have these two. I want to ask a question before I start, though. So let me just ask a question, and I'm going to have to. I see Jake rolling his eyes over here. Jake, now you work here at I'm a Survivor over a year. You've been here over a year, several days a week. Do you like it better when I'm here or when I'm not here? I'm just curious. No, there's no right or wrong answer, but do you like it better when I'm here?
When you're not here.
You like it better when I'm not here.
But not
Why?
not because that way whenever I screw something up, I'm like, okay, I have time to fix this before he just turns around and is like, oh, there he is, holding up your camera.
Like I did this morning.
But sometimes it's bad because I need help. And then I'm looking around, I'm trying to find Bennett somewhere. And then...
Well, I did not expect that answer. But I will say that LE came over on Thursday, a week Thursday, to do a job for me. And I was gone with Lex. And LE's job was to take all of the hay out in the hay field and stack it. You know how we all stack it. We always stack our hay in nice, beautiful rows. And that way, when we get ready to move it, we can either use the trailers or tractors and we all move it to the barn or whatever. And how shocked was I when Jamie sent me a video of LE working into the midnight hour. I could hear this tractor running out there in the pasture. And I am just like beaming with pride. Like my son is over there working and he's over there and he got there late and he's working into the night. And it wasn't until the next day when I would love to hug you. It wasn't until the next day when I come home back from Longhorn Lester's over to I'm a Survivor, and I discovered why LE had been working late into the midnight hour, why he was burning that midnight oil. He had taken all of the round rolls of hay, 26 rolls of hay, and instead of stacking them into a nice, neat rows and columns like we normally do, no, LE just took to writing. And I was like, what is this? And I walk out into the pasture and I discover there's this giant T and then an I, L, L, and then a Y.
Oh my God.
Yeah. LE come over and he spent time and he spelled Tilly using rolls of hay. And I was like, I guess I'm glad I wasn't here. I'm guessing I'm glad I wasn't here. So thank you, LE, for stacking that hay.
The tea was already there when I got out.
The tea was lying. Don't even start. Don't even say it was my fault. I did not prompt that at all, LE. But so that's the kind of help I got here, y'all. I'm blessed to have them. I am blessed to have them. And so that's probably why Jake and LE both prefer that I'm not here when they come to do jobs.
They get in less trouble.
They get in less trouble that way. And so I did want to say and have you guys with me today during the live to talk about how hard it feels, how hard it is to find yourself. I don't want to say incapacitated, but just unable to do all the things that you normally would do. And I know, God, I feel awkward that I'm sitting in front. I want to sit beside them, but they're so worried about hurting. There we go. Yes.
Like
Yeah,
I like that a whole lot better. Come on in here. Come on in here. And I don't want to make, a big deal out of this over here, because obviously there's a lot of folks in the world that have a lot worse than what I got. And we've talked a lot yesterday and in the comments and in the videos about the number of people that live with chronic pain. And so I may be going through a tough couple of weeks, and it may be losing some sleep because, you really can't get comfy when you can't use your arm, can't really do as many jobs as you would normally do. But I'll tell you what, I'm still very blessed to have these two right over here. Jamie is out on the porch doing a couple of things, opening packages, I think. And I'm just really blessed. So y'all want to say anything about that? How's it feel to be helping out your old man and your old uncle? Don't say anything mean.
I'm used to doing all the work while you sit back and watch anyway. It's no
I said,
different.
don't say anything mean. It's very humbling, someone says, when you have to get help with things that you normally do yourself. And that is true. And that's, I told Jake a little while ago, Jake got here early. LE shows up a little bit later. And I says, don't do all that. LE has to do, I have this list of things for LE to do as soon as we're done with the live over here. So me and Jake have already been out sweating this morning. And I know what y'all are going to say. You're like, Les, you've worn that shirt 3 days in a row. I can't take it off, okay? I can't.
Smell his.
You don't smell me. I have spray deodorant, so I can put on deodorant, but it's hard to change my shirt. And this morning I didn't have any help. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? This is painful.
It's like that one time those people went into the barn dominium and you couldn't remember that
Tell
story.
me. No, tell me the story.
Oh, no.
Those some guests came over to the barn dominium and they walked in. They were like, like they.
Oh,
were,
yes.
hey,
Okay, Ellie. Yes, I remember that.
Hey, it was an
So
abhorrent-
just remember that the barn dominium is a part of our barn. It's literally the center of we have things on both sides of the barn dominium. And sometimes we can get not immune, but we get desensitized to farm smells. Really, you don't seem to notice the smell of the farm once you've been around here for a while. But if you just show up to a farm one day out of nowhere, you're like, oh my God, it smells like a farm animals. You smell, goat smell and pig smell and just everything smells like farm. It's not all bad.
You can smell other people's goats, but you can't smell our goats.
That is true.
It's really weird.
When you go to Megan's, can you smell her goats?
Not really.
So you've become desensitized to her goats and our goats.
I don't smell anything, honestly.
Well,
I had COVID, so maybe that's why.
You never had your smell back after COVID. You know what else Ellie's had is a number of issues. Talk a little fast about the 3 major issues that you've had.
Well,
Injuries.
I've had a dislocated shoulder. What's yours?
No, mine's just a tear. I have a tear in my.
Well, it's a similar thing, and so I can vouch in that a shoulder injury is yours rotator cuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, mine was a dislocated shoulder with a torn labrum. The labrum is like the tissue over here, and so yeah, that was agonizing. I would actually say that the pain, it was from football when that happened. Of course, I was on defense against my wishes because I prefer offense. But
oh Lord, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We might as well just leave now.
We might as well
Ellie's
go and
got
walk
this.
away. When Ellie starts talking football, that reminds me. Did you see Pat Mahomes in Sunday's game? He dropped back and he did his little turn and he took the pass and he choked it down the field. Anyway, keep going. I'm sorry. I'm playing.
the shoulder, the dislocated shoulder was actually, I would say it was on par with my appendicitis. That was another, what do you call that? Incident? No, not incident.
Injury. I lost it. It's the comments are going by too fast, but someone asked you a question about, did you get their message about a family tree idea?
I've seen a lot of videos, a lot of comments about making a family tree. Both of us have made one. Bree made a video like that already. I made one too.
Of an actual family tree or animal family tree? I know you made an animal family tree.
Bree made a
Bree made the family one, and I made the one of the animals.
Okay, so family tree has been done, my friends.
Yeah, in all aspects, we've done that before.
You can check out Brianne's channel. We're not here to promote it at all because we want you watching us. We want you watching us.
Yeah.
Do not run off to Bree's channel to go
Bree's
find the family
channel.
tree. Oh my God, did y'all hear? Bree's got a family tree. Let's go watch it and leave us hanging here. All right, so Ellie's had a shoulder injury, a tear and a dislocated shoulder. Keep going.
Appendicitis when I was 8. I would say, like, you would think that'd be by far the worst, but the shoulder was actually felt as painful as the appendicitis did. And then somewhere in the middle, when I was 13, the fractured nose.
Did you forget about your hip?
That wasn't. I didn't need to go under for that, so I didn't really count it. That's like actually kind of a not mild per se, but that is common.
A dislocated hip, I don't think is very
That's
common,
not
son.
common.
In football, it is.
Well,
In football, those kind of things happen. Because all I did was they laid me on this. It didn't even hurt really. It just kind of it felt wonky when I walked, and so they laid me on the bench. And then I guess the right side was a little bit higher than the left side, so they just kind of pulled my right leg, and I felt the pop, and it was like good as new.
still though, so Ellie's dealt with injuries. You ever had any injuries? I know you had a surgery when you were a baby, once you wouldn't remember anymore. But have you ever had any injuries since then?
I had my appendix taken out, but that's not. I wouldn't consider that.
Well,
an
that's
injury.
no. I mean, that's a surgery, so you were laid up for a little while after that and stuff. Anyway, so we've all been through our ups and downs with things, but I know that from reading. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Oh no! What did I say? What happened?
Nothing. Not
What
you.
made you chuckle like that?
Not
Did
you.
Ellie just chug his water like Napoleon? like
Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah, but who was the one? Yeah, Napoleon just chugged his.
Yeah.
Is that what Ellie just did? Did you just do
No,
that?
it was a comment.
Oh no! What did the comment say? Let's just shut up.
No.
Please, Jake, say it. Is it
was-
mean?
No, they want to see my scar, but then this lady said, "Come on, Jake, show us your six pack," and I just giggled. I don't know.
Oh, that's
It was
all?
just-
That's
yeah,
what you're laughing
that was
about?
all. It
Oh.
wasn't a major laugh. It was just I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it family friendly, my friends, because you'll get Jake into the giggles here, and then then it's over. No.
I'll have to ramble about football to save it.
Yeah, we do the ramble about football. I want to show you another video that's just breathtaking, and we're going back to Florida, and this is the day before.
I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a rolling, all down to San Antonio. All down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy. Don't ever play with guns.
So, this is not to discredit what those folks are going to have to go through, but I think that we are living testaments that it's going to take years before life returns back to normal. And life may never be back to normal for a lot of people. I tell this story, but if y'all remember something, I know if Ellie and I had this discussion before, but before Hurricane Harvey, what would we do every Sunday for the most part, year round?
Play football in the yard.
We would play football in the yard every Sunday. And this year round, winter, summer, rain or shine, for the most part, we'd always gather up on Sundays and we play football in the yard. We watch football, and during halftime or between the games, we'd go out and we'd play games in the yard. And would you believe that after Hurricane Harvey, after the hurricane, that's been 4 or 5 years, we've never played football again. Never. You realize that, don't you?
Never.
Think about it. We've never played football again. I've never gone out in the yard and played football. I don't know. I know y'all have played around and stuff. Y'all thrown passes and done things. But that whole tradition of our Sunday afternoon football has never happened again. And Ellie, I don't know why I'm just fumbling my words like crazy. Sorry. Ellie and I were talking about this a while back. And, when you lose and you come home and you go through, you lost a home. Ellie and I lost a home. And you just have to learn that you have a lot of work to do in rebuilding your life. And when you come home when all of your stuff is gone, you've experienced that. Now, of course, your mom's house was spared, barely. Water come up to it, but her home was spared. But, we lost all of our stuff over here. And so you do have to kind of do a reset in your mind, and you have to kind of, in a way, find out, take an assessment of what you actually have. And of course, we all thank God for our health. We have our health. And that was the most important thing. But then you got to begin to realize that where do we go from here? And so obviously for us, it was a lot of your entire week, your afternoons, your weekends were busy rebuilding. And so there was no time for football. Ended up going from a priority in our lives and that kind of family time down to where we'd be lucky to get out there and even watch a game on TV. And we were having to wait until we got electricity back. And then there was just so many things that had to happen before life began to return to normal. And I will say now that even though Hurricane Harvey has been 4 or 5 years ago, still that part of our life has never returned to normal because new things take over. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, somebody asked something along those lines. He said, what's stopping you from picking up on that tradition now?
So obviously a lot of things have changed in all of our lives. LE now is engaged to be married. Him and Megan have started their life. LE's also involved with so many things on his side of town. Obviously, I'm working 2 properties and trying to maintain and balance my life and the sanctuary and the videos. Both of these guys are also video creators who, try to make a living from their video creations. And so now, obviously, I'm good for nothing.
No, you're right-handed. You just got to do shuffle passes.
Yeah, I can do a little shuffle passes, I guess. And then someone says, plus Lester's old. Thank you, Jeff. Lester has gotten old. So yes, you do age a lot, and some things in life can age you a lot faster than others. And friends in Florida will find out real fast how many years of life. And here's a good example. Let's talk about my dad, Pawpaw. We all love my dad. Y'all's grandpa. But can you remember back to before Harvey and then after Harvey of how much it aged my dad? Can y'all remember that far back or not really? You don't remember any difference?
No.
For those of us that have been around long enough and who can remember, Hurricane Harvey just can do some horrible things to you. My dad was already, I don't know exactly what age he was. I can't remember when Harvey was. That's how bad I am. But it did. When you look around and you already spent your entire life putting all that you have, every penny from your paychecks, and my dad is like me. We've always kind of lived paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, same as I think you guys do, or for the most part. And so then when all of your possessions, all of your life possessions are just gone, and you're like, it took me 6 months to save enough money to, buy that mattress. And it took me X number of months to buy his video game console or whatever the thing that you've saved up to buy. And then it's just gone, just like that. I remember we all went through Jake's house. I'm so sorry. We were taking stuff out of your house that you didn't want.
All right.
Well,
that's where that. That's where this.
All my stuff that I could have had.
So Daniel. So so we were doing looting. We became looters in a way. We all became looters.
So I lost everything because y'all took all my good stuff.
No, so Jake's house was flooded. And so Jake had a mobile home at the time, so they moved it off to the side. And I guess insurance paid for another one. How'd that happen? Insurance,
no,
right?
No, they just paid off the one that was flooded.
So the insurance paid off the one that was flooded. And so at that point, I know that Jake never told us that we could, but I think that once we got the word that insurance paid it off, we all went over there just as a family to take whatever we could take out of that thing. And I have curtains and blinds in the barndominium now from your old mobile home. Yeah, I do. You can't have them back. You cannot have them back. But that's an example.
So you go loot it.
And so it looks like my dad's talked about it before, how difficult Hurricane Harvey was on him and my mom and having to go back and redo things. So no, we really feel for those folks in Florida because we've been there, and it will be a long time if ever they can return. Even the city of Plum Grove, and I don't want to be the only one talking. You guys are part of this live as well.
Old Pops, Gigi's dad, is one person I remember who basically changed like that after something happened. I remember after his wife passed, he was right before his wife passed. He was I thought he was a relatively competent, coherent man, but then as soon as Pete Pat passed, he changed to basically senile. And
so it was a life-changing experience for him. You're right. He was normal. He was old Pops. We call him old Pops. And even though he was older, he was old Pops. He was fine. He could do whatever he wanted to do and get around how he wanted to get around. And then he lost his wife, and it affected his mind. And then one day he was just not the same, and he never recovered from that. He ended up, I don't want to say falling victim to dementia, but that's what it was. He got worse and worse until it finally took his life. And so that was, you're right, Ellie, that was a life-changing experience that made
I have a
him.
great story about old Pops.
Tell us.
I think he was tricking us a lot of the times, let me tell you. So I walked in one day, and he's sitting there in G's house.
Now, this is after he moved with mom and dad. So
Yes.
he'd already, okay, he began to
Yeah.
be sick. Okay.
So, you know, he wouldn't like really pay attention to nobody, just kind of sit there, right? So I'd walk in, I said, "Hey, Pops." And he just sat there. So I said, "Pops?" Like, I know he could hear me. He's sitting like 3 foot away from me. I'm like, "Pops!" He's just sitting there looking straight ahead. He will not look at me. And so I just sat there for a minute. I said, "You want a cigarette?" And he goes, "Where are they?"
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he perked straight up and goes, "Where are they?"
Okay, so that's funny because I don't think he was ignoring you. I think that there are certain things that your mind is programmed to. Here's an example of old Pops. He gotten to be where he really couldn't do much of anything. He was pretty much stuck in that. He was never unable to walk, but he just chose to sit in that chair and just stare at the TV. And they try to get him up and try to get him out and try to talk, and he just didn't care about anything, except when it came times for Sunday dinners, and we asked Pops to say the prayer. He wouldn't say a word the entire week. But all of a sudden on Sunday, he would bow his head, take off his cap if he was wearing one, and he would give you the most beautiful prayer that was current and up to date, where he'd been paying attention to what he was watching on TV, obviously, yet he wouldn't say a word about anything all week long. But if you asked him to bless the food, man, he would just lay it out for you. And so that's pretty neat, I think.
Perhaps he was conserving energy all week for that one
for that prayer.
No, how are you
For
gonna
that
get ready
prayer.
for next week?
I know, right? All right. Well, I don't have a whole lot for anything. I just wanted to come today and have these guys with me and tell them thank you publicly for helping out around here. Jake, someone wants to talk about your beard. Jake,
I don't
so
even
they
know.
want you to cut your beard. How come you don't cut your beard? I'm just curious.
Because they tell me to, and so I refuse.
Why don't
to.
we do it right now on video? Can we do that on my video right now?
You're not doing it. If Jamie can like get some time to come in here, then maybe that's possible.
Well, I promise you, we have shears. We have shears, and we can trim you right now, Jake, if you want to be trimmed.
No, I've been wanting to trim it for a long time, but I cannot let everyone.
Uncle
tell me-
Lester?
No, I can. It's not about you. It's about everyone telling me to. If I give in, if I do it because someone told me to, I'll like.
LE, have
There it
you ever
goes.
considered being a youth pastor?
I mean, I definitely consider it. That people have told me that like it could be a good thing to do and different things like that. I feel like people, the reason that I haven't done it, the reason that I guess I don't feel compelled to do it right now is because I feel like the people that need goodness and need light the most aren't in the church. They're outside of the church. They're on the streets. They're at the football games that I go to and stuff like that. Because the people that are usually around those kind of settings, they already have what they need. You know what I mean?
That actually makes really good sense. People that are already at church seem to already be trying to at least get their lives in order. And then
Yeah.
LE says he's more of a witness out and about, where he's, where he, does other things in life, where he tries to be a witness. And I admire that about LE. I will say one thing. I can't say the same for Jake, but LE has never come home drunk. I'm not saying you've come here drunk, but LE has never come home drunk.
We shouldn't talk about these
We
stories.
can't talk
on
about
lives.
this
We
on
can talk
live?
about Ellie. Yeah, let's talk about what Ellie has.
Well,
done.
I will
This is good.
I will say that I'm very blessed because Ellie's never come home intoxicated. Ellie's always been seeked religion and seeked his spirituality, or can I just say a relationship with Jesus? Does that?
Yeah.
I don't really know exactly how you would define what your quest is, but I would think that you've always seeked to have a relationship with Jesus, and I think that kind of summarizes for the most part. Or I may be wrong.
I think our whole family has, because I mean, we say a prayer every Sunday.
No, it's a lot more than saying a prayer on Sundays. No, Ellie, I mean, I don't mind admitting this, that your level of spirituality is 10 times what I have. And so that's something that you've developed on your own. That's not something that I instilled in you, or your mom didn't instill that. That's something that has come from you. And I admire that. What, Jake, you want to say something? Go ahead and say it, Jake. You just want to say something about, well, you come home drunk a few times, Lester.
No, I ain't saying nothing.
You're not going to say anything? Not saying nothing?
Nope, not saying
Well,
nothing.
a lot of people have come to defend your beard. I think you should be
I know.
proud of that. And I was
am.
hoping that Jamie would come in. We could go ahead and cut that sucker off. But obviously now people say,
When-
don't touch it, Jake. Don't touch it.
when
What?
See, that's the thing is because whenever I don't want to shave it, they're like, you need to shave it. You need to shave it. And then whenever I say I'm going to shave it, no, don't shave it. So what the heck do I do?
You
I
do-
don't even know
I
anymore.
say you live for you.
Yeah, that's what I was
what do
gonna say,
you want to
too.
do?
I'm about to go home and shave this crap off my face.
No.
No, shave one side down the middle.
Yeah, you know what you should do is like the little old goatee style. You've never had a goatee that I can remember, have you?
Oh, yeah, it was awful.
You had a goatee one time? Oh, the thing is, you could actually make it really long, like it'd be like a
like
Chinese goatee, like like the
I
Chinese,
don't
like
look
a
like Cornholio.
like a master.
I'm gonna make it a turkey beard, just one
A
little
master.
thing.
No, he could be a master. He could just, and that would be awesome.
A master.
Everyone keeps saying, let's let them talk. I just don't know what I'm saying. I don't know when I've been cutting y'all off. I don't know what to do because I feel like if I just stop talking, y'all are not going to talk. We're all going to be sitting like old pops and like, just staring at the camera.
Well, look, if I do my beard like you said, I'm just gonna start wearing one of those robes,
Yes.
one of those things.
Yes. Have a really long goatee that comes into about here.
Well, I gotta grow out my hair and do a man bun if I'm gonna
You got to do a
that.
man bun, but I have one you can borrow if you don't mind just slipping it on.
What?
I have a slip-on man bun you can borrow.
Have you ever
Why?
have you ever done a poll about whether you should shave it or not?
No.
Oh,
'cause-
so that's what it's called
that's
right
the
there,
whole
Jake.
thing.
The Wong. It went away already, but
Someone said Fu Manchu
yeah,
or
Fu
something.
Manchu.
Yeah.
isn't that
Yeah.
it?
yeah,
Something
something
like
like that. Okay.
Start
Well, do
going
y'all have
dry.
anything else y'all want to add?
I don't-
I want you all to keep our friend Ann Dale. That's the lady that I met at the YouTube Creators Conference in your prayers. She's in the Carolinas, and I know that I don't know exactly how close to the coast she is, but there's a lot of folks who have yet to experience this hurricane and are bracing for it now. So as you guys go about your weekends, hope you have a wonderful one. But don't forget to keep those guys in your prayers. And with that being said, I'm done. You guys find a way to close it out since everyone keeps telling me to stop talking, let y'all talk.
Okay.
As I always say,
Oh,
Oh, you're
want-
gonna actually close it out?
Don't close it out.
I want you to
That's
say
what we're
something.
doing.
Say something.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
as I always say, your boy Ellie out.
All right. In broadcast, Jake.
In broadcast.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Oh, I almost passed.
Bye.